So I got mail. Lots and lots and lots of mail. These packages, many of them have been sitting here for quite a while. I did take advantage of some of the after Christmas sales, and also I had some points at e.l.f. that were going to expire, and so I wanted to use those up as well. That said, going forward, I am going to do what I did last year, and I will be on a low buy from now until my birthday at the end of April. And the reason I'm not doing a no buy is because I do have a channel, and if something really exciting comes out that I want to try and review for you guys, then I will purchase it. Some of these things I don't remember exactly what I got, so it's going to be as much of a surprise for me as it is for you. I am going to now pause and open all of the boxes and take off any shrink wrap, that kind of stuff, and then we'll go through it. Since we already have makeup on, I'm not going to do a try on, but I am going to get my fingers in there and do some swatching. This one can be so satisfying to open if it works right. All right, so let's start with Moira. Moira was a new brand to me at the end of last year. I had never had any of their products before, and I did a full face, and I absolutely loved everything I used from them except the shadow stick. That was the one thing that I was disappointed in. I had gotten this with the kind of beige color, thinking I might use it as an eye primer, and it's just really dry and looked kind of, I don't know, not mottled, but just looked, it just sat on my skin and you could see it there. It didn't blend in. It kind of skipped. I don't know. It wasn't very pretty. And so this is probably going to get decluttered very shortly when I start in on my eyeshadow declutter. But other things I really liked, and I wanted to try a couple of different products. I had seen Jen Phelps talk about this Set and Correct finishing powder, and she said that even though it has the various colors in there, she kind of just swirls in all together. But isn't that pretty? Look how beautiful that is with that embossing. And it's very soft. And so when you go in, you can see you just kind of get that. I mean, swatching a translucent powder is kind of anticlimactic, but I'm going to grab a brush and I am going to just swirl into this and just kind of tap that on my nose and in the T-zone. I'm getting a little shiny. Did my makeup earlier. So when I come in, I have the camera kind of far away so that I have a little more room, but I think that it's really pretty and it did a good job touching up, kind of taking down the shine a little bit. So I'm excited to use that. And then the Love Heat Cream Blushes. I wanted to try one of these. Moira was having a really good sale, so that's why I went ahead and bought some new products right after Christmas. I had purchased a powder blush and I wanted to try one of the Love Heat Cream Blushes. And the Dior blush has made this really bright pink kind of in right now. And so this is just such a pretty component. And then I'm going to swatch this for you. So that is just the color. Wow. And now I'm going to take a little bit and do it as if I were going to blend it out on my cheeks, because that is some really pink. It's very pigmented. You would not need very much at all to get a beautiful flush. This would have been really pretty when I did the Cold Girl makeup look. This would have been a great blush to use for that. I got a lip liner, a liquid lipstick, and a lip oil when I did my first order. And so this time I got this Lip Bloom lipstick pencil. It says that it's matte and long lasting. The color on this one is Smitten. So let's just draw that on there right like that. And that's such a pretty pink nude color. I just really like that a lot. And it was very creamy. I'm going to let that set down and then we're going to test and see how it transfers. This is a regular sharpening pencil. It does not twist. And then the last thing, nope, not the last thing. I picked up the Moira Eye Exposure Pencil in Soft Gold. I like to use this color in the lower waterline. It just really gives a brightening effect. Usually I use the Maybelline Light Liner in Starlight Gold, and there's not really very much of that one left, so I wanted to get something to have on hand when I run out of that. And this was on sale for $3.75, which is a heck of a deal. And it's also just reassuring because I know that Moira is vegan, and so I don't have to worry about carmine in any of the eye products or anything actually. I recently developed a carmine sensitivity and I'm having to go through all of my eye products and weed out anything that has or may contain carmine. I haven't done my eyeliners yet, and there's a few of them that I think are going to have to go. But this one is safe. It's a regular sharpening pencil, and the color is just a really pretty kind of candlelit glow kind of gold that I think will be really pretty in the lower waterline. In fact, I don't have any lower waterline eyeliner on, so let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that transferred really easily. I like that a lot. Cool. And then the last thing I got was the Mega Concealer, because when I ordered it before, it's a little bit too dark. It's actually really good for a face concealer if I have any spots or anything I want to conceal, but it's a little dark for my under eyes. So the one I have is in 150, and I ordered 125, and I'm hoping that this is going to be more brightening for my under eye. So let's swatch these here. So here's the 125. And the one that I have, the 150. And this one is just a little bit deeper and more warm. So I'm hoping that I didn't need to actually go down to 120, that the 125 is going to be okay. It's so hard to tell online. We'll see when I try it on my eyes. So that's my little Moira haul. And then I was out of my Lumi deodorant, and I've talked about this before. I love Lumi. I wasn't fond of the scent that it has. When you first open it up and put it on, that's the mandelic acid that actually makes it work, but it also has kind of a funky smell. And they have recently reformulated everything to take care of that funky smell. Unfortunately, that means that my favorite scent, which was the warm vanilla, was discontinued because it was one that they could not get the scent right. And so they discontinued that scent. So since I needed to find a new scent, I decided to get the starter kit, and that was $34, but you got 4 products, and tried 2 of the scents. I got the cream deodorant and the body wash sample in the lavender sage. So let's see what this smells like. Okay, yeah, there's less of that off-putting smell that it used to have, and this is actually really nice. It's not overpoweringly lavender. And then I got the Invisible Cream stick deodorant in Fresh Alpine, and I think my husband might want to try this one, so we'll have to see. Oh, I like that a lot. I don't know, I might not share it with him. That's a nice scent. It does smell a little bit masculine though, so he might get to use that one. And then the deodorant wipes I got in the unscented, so we'll see how that is. The starter kit comes with one of the stick deodorants, a cream deodorant, a body wash, and the wipes. This is the only natural deodorant that I've ever found to work for me all the time. And it is a little more expensive, but to me it's worth it because I know that even in the middle of a hot summer, I'm not going to be smelly. And that's what I want for my deodorant. The next box is actually friend mail. I am in a trade swapped gift makeup group where if we're decluttering, we may want to pass along some gently used items, and others who are not afraid to take on gently used items will offer to pay shipping or trade, that kind of thing. And so this came from one of the members in that group, Jen, and she contacted me to see if there was anything that she was decluttering that I would want. And so I said, sure. The first is from NARS, and it's the Extreme Effect eyeshadow palette. And I am kind of trying to replace some of the palettes that I'm going to have to be decluttering because of the carmine issue. And when I checked the ingredients, I didn't see any carmine listed in these. This is super pretty. I'm going to swatch a couple of these mattes. I'm not going to swatch everything. Oh my goodness, they are so smooth. Wow. So I just kind of went down the diagonal right there. There's that one. And those are very pretty. You know, now I'm going to swatch some shimmers. Let's do this gold. Oh, that is so soft and buttery. Wow. And maybe this one down here. And how about this one over here? So here's the gold, and then the kind of purpley one, and then the lighter. Those are very pretty. Also in the box is the Smashbox Cali Contour Palette, and I've seen this around before, but I only own one Smashbox product, and it's a primer. And so this is some really pretty light, cool, neutral shades. It has a couple of bronzers, and a kind of highlighter light powder. I think this must be more of a blush. And then in the center are 2 highlighters. And that bottom one might be a little dark for me for a highlighter, but it could be kind of a shimmery bronzer that would be pretty. There is an RMS lipstick palette, and not sure if this is something I'm going to be able to use, so if Jen doesn't mind, I may go ahead and pass it along to somebody else. It doesn't look like it's even been swatched. I just don't really like lipsticks that I have to put on with a lip brush, and I'm not sure that I knew that that was what it was when she was showing me the products. There's a ColourPop little 4-pan cheek palette, and it has 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight, and those are super pretty colors. I'm gonna have to clean my arm off to swatch these. I'm gonna swatch on the back of my arm because I'm a little bit stained on the front of my arm. So the highlighter, the bronzer, the light blush, and the deeper blush. So we have highlight, bronzer, and the 2 blushes that are a little bit hard to see. Those may have to be built up, but that's really pretty. There is still more. Nabla Skin Glazing in Privilege. I don't think I have any other Nabla products, and it's this beautiful highlight. Look at that. It's kind of a blush topper highlight. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, love it. And finally, a palette from Morphe. There's all kinds of stuff going on with Morphe right now. They closed all their retail stores. They filed bankruptcy. There are influencers that they owe money to, and it's just this big to-do. So if you're wanting some tea on the beauty industry, you can look up Morphe. But this is a beautiful pink palette and no carmine. So this is just gorgeous. I'm really excited to play with that. Jen, thank you so much for sending these products. I absolutely love them, and I appreciate your generosity. I also got friend mail from my good friend, Leanna Dalton. She had a product that she wasn't going to be using and asked if I wanted it, and I said, yes, please. And that was the Beach Waver with the automatic winding curling iron. It has this little clip right here, and then you push the button and it winds up, and then you let go. And I have used this a couple times to curl my hair, and I love it. I'm not very coordinated trying to put beachy waves in my hair like with the flat iron, and I have a larger barreled curling iron, but with the opportunity to try this, I was very excited for her to share this. And she also sent a couple of palettes that she was decluttering after her eyeshadow collection inventory and declutter, and she sent me these 2 beautiful Viseart palettes. This one is all matte neutrals, and then this one is a little bit deeper neutrals, again all matte, but it has a couple of pops of color in it. I may think about passing this one along to someone because 3 of the colors, these 3, have carmine, and my rule when I'm going through my palettes to see what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to declutter is in a 12 pan or less, if there's 3 or more shades that have carmine, I need to pass it along and let somebody else use it. So I'm still thinking about that one because it's so pretty, but I may pass it along to somebody in my family who just doesn't have the same issues I have with the carmine. So thank you, Leanna, for that wonderful gift. I appreciate it very much. I placed a very tiny Amazon order in the last week, and that was to get a backup of my Wet n Wild Brûlée single eyeshadow. If you have seen any of my recent videos, you'll know that this is the state of the one I currently have, and I will use that up in the not too distant future. And then I wanted to get the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick in Peach Bums, which is a dupe, I believe, for the Charlotte Tilbury in Peachgasm. And that's what that looks like. It's so pretty. I used it the other day already, and it just gives this beautiful glow to the skin and a pretty peach flush. Really like it. So even if it wasn't a dupe for something else, I would like it all on its own merits. And it's Wet n Wild, so you know it's affordable. But that was all that was in that order. And then the granddaddy of them all was my e.l.f. order. I actually placed 2 e.l.f. orders so that I could end up using more points because you can only use a certain number of points per order. And I had things that I was out of, I needed to stock up on, and then there were some things that were just on crazy good deals because they had 60% off for their Beauty Squad members, and so I took advantage. So I have everything out. I have my computer over here with the order on it so that I can tell you what I paid for things, and I had to figure out what was the free gifts in here because, you know, they always send you something free. I think I'll start with the skincare first. I ordered 2 of the Holy Hydration Hydrogel moisturizers at $4.80. It was worth going ahead and getting them both. I got the Holy Hydration face cream. This was $5.20. And then I got the Holy Hydration fragrance free for my daughter, and she's already taken this out. This is just the empty box, but I left it here for you to see it. I don't think this one was on sale, but she needed it, so I went ahead and got it anyway. The Holy Hydration Daily Cleanser. This is a really gentle cleanser that I love to use. I kind of alternate between this and the CeraVe. This was $2.40 though, so yes, I went ahead and stocked up on one. And then they sent me 3 free gifts. One is the Holy Hydration face cream with SPF, so I am set for moisturizers for at least the next year. A small travel size of the daily moisturizer. I don't think I've ever used this one, and I'm not sure what the difference between the daily one and the hydrogel is, but I'll let you know if there's any difference that I can tell. It says that it has hyaluronic acid, jojoba seed oil, and vitamin E. And this says dry, oily, or combo skin types. And this one has hyaluronic acid and peptides. Usually when I put on my tretinoin at night, I use the sandwich method where I put a moisturizer on, then I put the retin-A, then I put another moisturizer on. And this might actually be a really good first moisturizer. And then the third gift they gave me was the Keep Your Balance toner. I don't always use a toner. Sometimes I like to. This one has hyaluronic acid, witch hazel, and aloe. Generally, I will use the Thayer's toner and I'll spray that on before I put my vitamin C serum and then my other serums and moisturizers on in the morning. So I'll be interested to use this one. I will probably put it in one of my spray bottles because I really do like spraying my toner on rather than putting it on a cotton ball. It just seems like you kind of waste a lot if you use a cotton ball because so much of it gets left in the cotton. All right, I think that's all the skincare, so let's move into the tools then. I have an e.l.f. eyelash curler, and I was going to buy the little replacement pads because mine are getting kind of worn out. And I didn't see them on the site, and I think they're like $2 normally. And the eyelash curler itself was on sale for $2. So I just thought, well, fine, I'll just get a brand new eyelash curler, and it actually does come with a replacement pad. And then I was filming a video recently, like 3 days ago or so, and my e.l.f. eyelash curler, the spring, it just broke. And so it was very serendipitous that I actually got the whole eyelash curler and not just the pads. I did also get a couple of brushes. I really like the e.l.f. concealer brush, and so I got another one of those to use for when one is dirty, so then I can rotate back and forth between them. And I got a Dome stippling brush. I have a lot of their cream products, the putty bronzer, the putty blush, the luminous putty blush, and so I wanted another stippling brush to put those on with. I haven't been telling you how much stuff is. Just a second. So the concealer brush was $2 and the stipple brush was $2.80. And if you saw how many brushes I have, you'd probably say that I really didn't need to buy any more brushes. But I have some of my brushes that I'm going to be decluttering because the ferrules are loose or they've come off and I've had to glue them back on, or the bristles are getting stiff because I've had them for a really long time. So it is kind of a preemptive replacement for ones that I know I'm going to be getting rid of. I also really like the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, so I got a 2-pack of that. This has more of a velourish kind of texture than, say, the Real Technique sponge or one of those that is smoother on the outside. And I like the way that this blends my makeup. So these were $4 for 2 sponges. And now on to the oh no, there's one more tool. I did get the holiday brush set. This ended up being $20 for 18 brushes and the brush roll. And I don't know yet if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to put it in my giveaway drawer, but it was just one of those things that was kind of too good to pass up. And I know that I will either get great use out of it myself or enjoy passing it along. So we'll see what I end up doing with it. All right, let's move on to the makeup. I think my favorite lip plumping gloss is the e.l.f. and my favorite color is this Champagne Glam. It's just so pretty over anything that you're wearing. And since my other one has about that much left, and this one was $2.80, I thought it was a great time to replace it. Really like the e.l.f. monochromatic multi-stick. I have one in a bronzy color, and this one is in glistening peach, and it is $2. And I got this for two reasons. One, I liked it, and two, I wanted to compare it to Peach Bombs. So here's the e.l.f. and there is the Wet n Wild, and they're pretty close. The e.l.f. is a little bit lighter maybe, but they're really both pretty peachy and glowy. And so I think maybe these two are very similar, and therefore this would also maybe be a dupe for that Charlotte Tilbury that this is a dupe for. And then, because they were $2.80, I decided it would be a good time to replace my Hydrating Camo Concealer that I used up last year, but I wasn't exactly sure what color I needed. And as I said with the Moira one, picking online is just really almost impossible. So I got two. I got Light Sand and Fair Beige. And just looking at them in their packages, I think that the Fair Beige is going to be better for me because it's a more neutral color, and this one looks a little warm. So I'm not going to swatch these right now. In fact, I may only swatch this one so that I can pass this along to someone else. e.l.f. came out with a new Power Grip Primer, and this one has niacinamide added in. I do have and love the green Power Grip Primer. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it. This was not on sale. It was $5 for this mini, but I wanted to see if there was a difference, if I liked one over the other. And I don't know that I'll be able to tell much because skincare ingredients, you're not going to be able to tell first use if there's any benefit to your skin. But if it works as well as the other Power Grip Primer, then in the future going forward when I need to replace it, I might as well get this one, right? I feel like I'm still on the hunt for an eyeshadow primer that will replace the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I love that so much. I wish they hadn't discontinued it. I understand why they did because they had so many complaints about it being really dry. It's just that if you put it between your fingers and warm it up, it would get so creamy, and then it would just stay forever on my lids. I tried the Moira shadow stick, as I said earlier in the video, and then I tried their little pot shadows as well, and it's not the same. It's not creamy enough, and it just doesn't look good on my eyes. So I know that I like the e.l.f. shadow sticks, and I've been thinking about getting a white base. So why don't I get the white e.l.f. Cookies and Dream shadow stick when it's on sale for $2? And so I did. It's super creamy, barely touching, and it's transferring on that well. And then if I blend it, it creates a nice base. So I'm adding that to my shadow stick collection, but really the purpose was for a white base. I love a good lip balm, and I've never tried the e.l.f. bite-sized lip balms, but for $1.60, I thought, sure, why not? I'll try it. It's that little container like the multi-stick is in. I'm not going to put it on because I have lipstick on, but it does smell minty, and it looks like a lip balm on my hand. I don't think you can see anything, but I'm gonna toss that in my purse, and that'll just be my purse lip balm. I'm about done with my Essence Make Me Brow, so I was going to be needing to purchase a new brow gel. So I decided to get the Wow Brow in the color Taupe, and it was $2. When I was still getting Ipsy, I had different brow gels that I would use, but now I pretty much just alternate between these two, and that's the color. I think that's it. If you're still with me, let me know you got this far by dropping a flower emoji down in the comments, okay? If there's anything in all of this that you saw that you'd really like me to do a video using, let me know that down in the comments below too. If you still got a little time to hang out, I'll pop a video right there you can go to without too much trouble. I'll see you over there. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye.